Greetings, family. Just read a very unique situation. Eva Marcille, hopefully I'm pronouncing her name right, well-known model and actress. She was on America's Top Model, the Tyra Banks show, about 10, 12 years ago. Smoking hot. She also had a role on the Atlanta Housewives reality TV show. Long story short, she is now filing for divorce with her husband of 4 years, a gentleman named Michael Sterling, who's an attorney. And when they got married, she already had a child from a previous relationship. This man had 2 more children with her, and he did the Steve Harvey thing. He actually adopted this young lady, her daughter, and gave her his last name. And what the kicker is now is that she is asking for child support, not only for the 2 children they had as a married couple, but for her child from a previous relationship. Now, normally I'd be like, that's a little bit insane. But this man voluntarily decided to give this woman's child from another relationship his last name. Now, I know what y'all thinking. Well, you know what? He decided to do that, so he gonna have to pay for all 3. But this was the part that doesn't make me feel as bad for him. He voluntarily did this. He went down to the courthouse, told this lady to go down there and have the children sign for him so they would take his last name. Now, to me, I found that weird, but men do this all the time and go out on a limb. I think that is really an ultimate sign of love and affection for the woman they're married to. But in 4 years, she wants out. And this is the problem, man. This is why a lot of gentlemen out here are reluctant to get married. You know, it's like everybody wants to get married, but they don't want to be wives. They want a wedding, but they don't want to be a spouse. They want children, but they don't want to be moms. It's become this situation where men are putting all the risk out. And whenever stuff hits the fan and the woman gets tired for whatever reason, the man loses. You got to understand, the proposition is basically this. When a couple marries, the man understands, I want to take care of this woman to the day I die. So he's going to give 100% of everything he got to this woman, financially, emotionally, mentally. But when she leaves, she can take 50% and walk away from him at any given time. Now, I understand if the person is cheating on you, beating on you, you know, there's some kind of abuse, but that didn't seem to be the case in this relationship. Now, she has 3 children. She's in her late 30s, and this goes back, I'm going to start calling this the Tia Mowry syndrome. These women are having these midlife crises where they just get tired of the relationship, they want to walk away, and the man is left twisted. So now you have assets to break apart. You have a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 9-year-old. And this man basically took the advice of his wife at the time. The little girl would hear her brother and sister, their name is Sterling. The father's name is Sterling. The wife's name is Sterling. And she knew she wasn't quite part of the family. So this man said, you know what? I'm going to make this girl my own. I'm going to adopt her. And now he's being ordered, or she's trying to have him ordered to pay for additional child support for the child that she had from a previous relationship. Another thing I found real funny was she did an interview, and when she spoke about the first child, she kept saying the donor, the donor, the donor. But when I did a little research, I found out it wasn't a donor. This was a man she was in a relationship with. They had a baby the old-fashioned way, and it just didn't work out. But she was so disrespectful, she would call this man who's got a name, photos with her, relationship with her previously, the donor. And this is the part where dudes are getting tired of this. They're getting tired. This is why I'm convinced this is why marriage is at an all-time low, especially within the black community. Average black woman has a 25% chance of getting married. You know why? It's not because men don't want to be married. Men value love. They're just living in a world with women that love value. So it's all about what you can do, how you can provide for them. And the second they get tired, they forget about the vows. They want out. They think there's something better. The grass is greener. And a lot of these women are finding out that, yo, shorty, you're not 25 anymore. This ain't America's Next Top Model. You still pretty, but you're not at the age and stage now where you're just going to go out and get a top shelf guy. You have 3 children. 2 from the marriage you're in and 1 from a previous relationship. And the man that you're leaving took the time to actually make your child his own. So I want to know what y'all think. Y'all think this man should have to pay additional child support for this child because he adopted the child? Or do you think she's just reaching and it's a little too much? I personally think, look, bro, you adopted her. You decided to give her your last name, Steve Harvey style. Here you are. But sometimes you learn a real hard lesson dealing with the wrong woman. And men out here, I tell you all the time, man, a wise man learns from the mistakes of others and a fool learns on his own. Mr. Sterling, you're going to learn on your own this time. And hey, we'll see how this all pans out. But just tell me what y'all think. Y'all think she's reaching, making him pay for a child she had in a previous relationship? Or that's just par for the course? And this man decided he wanted to adopt that little girl. So I just think it's an ugly situation. You got a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 9-year-old with the man in their lives being taken away. The mother's going to go do her own thing. She's got a little bit of money. It's just ugly. It's really ugly, and it doesn't help for the people out there that actually value relationships, marriage, and raising families, and not bailing out on somebody whenever things get a little tough. So y'all give me y'all feedback on that.